All right, so talk us through that. Like, what happened? Or what? Yeah,
Well,
I mean, what happened?
you know, being around the campaign, you start to understand who the players are, who the propagandists are, and in all fairness, in running a presidential campaign, you're going to have a lot of propaganda going out on your side. Fair. At the same time, I'm just not a propaganda guy. I think it's important that if you elect someone to power, you're even more responsible to hold them accountable to the things that they promise to do. I think even if you are considered MAGA, it's make America great again. It's not make Trump great again. And I think that there is a sort of disconnect where people think that you need to follow the person and the people that he is surrounding himself with, rather than forgetting that the fact that no, this whole movement was supposed to be to make America and the people around it better. And I just wanted to clarify that when I said goodbye, MAGA, and it's not that I'm saying goodbye to the people. I think the people are amazing, actually. It's that I am not on the side of the establishment propaganda. I do not like that the technocracy is getting so much power. I do not like that we are adding all these surveillance measures. And we'll talk about this later, I'm sure, but I'm very anti surveillance. I think privacy is freedom. And I could see the shift of kind of the agenda of what we were told versus what are the first things that come out of their mouth day one. And I'm like, something's wrong here.
Yeah,
And it would be very disingenuous for me to say I'm on board with the direction that I'm seeing. We have to say something. See something, say something. Like, how many times have we said that in our lives?
yeah,
Why don't
yeah.
we live that true to ourselves? See something, say something. I saw it. I had to say something.
Well, you know what? I give you so much credit for doing that because and you took it to a whole different level. And by the way, you saw it really early. I'll tell you when I saw it was inauguration day. Inauguration day, I don't know, something was off with that day to me. The people that were there, from Mark Zuckerberg to Jeff Bezos to like all the technocrats that hated him for 4 years. Now all of a sudden everybody's buddy buddy, and something felt different that day. And then, ironically, I think from inauguration day on, more and more people are like, wait a minute, who is this guy? This isn't the guy I voted for. And I think a lot of that has to do with really the Israel situation and kind of what's going on there. And, even that topic was so uncomfortable to talk about for so long. But I will credit Tucker Carlson. I will credit Candace Owens, even Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, Steve Bannon to an extent. Some of the people that, were diehard Trumpers are now, have opened the conversation. Let's just put it that way. They've opened the conversation to be able to say, okay, what's really going on here? Did we get censored for 4 years talking about COVID and vaccines, and the conservatives went crazy about that? And then now here we are 4 years later getting censored, giving an opinion on geopolitics when it comes to the Middle East. What are your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, I think that a lot of people are realizing that a change in presidency doesn't change the trajectory of the country that much. Actually, what it does is there's more work to be done. And, there's a lot of people that thought that if Trump wins, the world's going to change forever. Do I still think that he's a better choice than Kamala? I do.
Right.
Although I often think, is it better to have, if you have both parties are evil, is it better to have incompetent evil or competent evil?
Yeah.
That's actually the scariest thought of it, because if Kamala won, she is evil, but she is incompetently evil, meaning maybe she wouldn't have been as effective as accomplishing her nefarious goals. Trump is, I don't want to call him evil. I think in his mind, he has best intent. I just don't
Yeah.
agree with his method. And I
Yeah.
don't agree with a lot of people he surrounded himself with. But that was the knock on Trump the first time, too,
Right.
that he just surrounds himself with not the best people. So maybe that's on us for not realizing he would do it again. But he told us he would do it better the second time. And we just took him at face value. And again, we were not given much of a choice. The option was Kamala, who is notably not competent. And
Yeah.
I, d- I was really concerned about having an incompetent president, especially because we had an extremely incompetent president for 4 years prior. Biden
Yeah.
was not competent.
Yeah.
Can we survive as a country with another incompetent president? I didn't think so. But as far as everything with Israel, I mean, the first call that Trump made when he got elected to a world leader was Netanyahu.
Yeah.
The first world leader that came to visit Trump in person was Netanyahu. And when I saw that, I was like, wait a second. There's a lot of people in the world. There's a lot of bigger countries in the world. There are probably more important countries in the world. Why is that your first? Always, why is that the first? The first time you pull out a chair for a world leader, why is Netanyahu first? You know, you start to see these things, and a lot of people call that noticing. But once you notice, you kind of can't unsee it. The
Right. Right.
involvement and the entwinement with the Israel and Netanyahu is kind of a political party. And it's not even all of Israel. It's kind of this fringe party that runs Israel that
That's
is a
right.
huge concern for a lot of people. Anytime you mention that, anytime you talk about that, anytime you kind of bring it up as a point of contention, they're like, "You're an anti-Semite." I'm like, "Wait, why is that true, actually?" And we lived through that during COVID.
Right.
If you
Right.
say
Right.
something negative about COVID, they're like, "Oh, you hate people and you want to kill everybody." I go, no, I didn't say that at all,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
But
Even
I
the
have a right to
vaccine
question.
conversation, "Hey, I didn't choose to get vaccinated. I didn't choose to put that in my body." And it's like, you're anti-vax, you're anti-science, you're anti-humanity, you want my grandmother to die. I mean, it's pretty crazy. It really went there. And then now we have the same thing, substitute, I guess, COVID and vaccination for this relationship with Israel. I think you made a amazing point though, and it's something a lot of people don't understand. It's really not even the country of Israel. And it's really not even just Netanyahu. It's this Likud party that is this right wing extremist party. There's a documentary called The Bibi Files. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard it's really excellent in basically exposing how Netanyahu, out of survival necessity, embraced this Likud party and basically sold his soul to the devil, which is crazy because most people think he is the devil, but he sold his soul to the devil by partnering up with this right-wing extremist party. And it's those guys that are calling the shots right now. So that's definitely something I've got to delve into.
Want the full truth? Watch the full Deep Shallow Dive interview next. And hit subscribe if you're done with narratives and ready to call a spade a spade.